Hey, everybody, thank you so much. Today is WTF Wednesday. We're talking about an experience I had yesterday where a deal got blown. Join us. Ben and I talk about all things WTFs, and we're going to start that episode right now. Hey, how you doing? Thank you very much for joining us. Maddie here, Ben joining me with BSN Live. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you doing, Maddie?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. We're here WTF Wednesday. One of my favorite days of the week, as a matter of fact. I love to talk about a lot of these things. This is where we talk about, maybe some of the things we didn't do right, or maybe some things that didn't go as planned, or that made some bad decisions, or maybe it was just something that you saw somebody else do. And you, like a story that I was thinking about today to share was something somebody was interacting with me and how they interacted with me. And I wanted to bring that to light because that was a real WTF moment as well. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, go ahead, man. If you want to share your story, we talked about this yesterday. Me and Matt, we have a lot of conversations. And this is kind of what we want to share with you guys, our experiences. And that's what we've been telling you, is you need to share your experiences, if it's positive or negative, but how are you going to make those negatives into positives, right? How are you going to perceive the world that way? I mean, yeah, Maddie, go ahead and tell your story, Maddie, and then we can go into it.
No worries. Yeah, I had called Ben yesterday because I was a little frustrated, and I felt bad for the outcome of the story. But I was at a car dealership yesterday. I got in a car accident not too long ago at the end of the year last year. And part of that, if you dealt with car accidents, they totaled my car. I have to cancel the warranty. I have to cancel the gap insurance. I have to do all those things. So I had made an appointment yesterday with the finance manager. He called me and said, hey, when can you come in? I said, can we handle it over email? He's like, no, you have to come in. I have to have you sign something. I said, okay, fantastic. I'll be there tomorrow about noonish, noon to 2. Just give me a little cushion. And so that was it. That was the end of the conversation. So I showed up yesterday right about noontime. I actually met the sales guy who had transferred me to the finance manager, who had shot me up a little bit, asked me about my plans for getting a new car, now that I'm getting this warranty, and doing the great sales stuff that he's supposed to do. He had somebody on the phone that he knew needed a vehicle, so he's trying to get a little bit more information, and I told him I'd look forward to meeting him. So anyway, when I did get there, I ended up meeting him, and he brought me into the dealership because of all the COVID restrictions, masks and everything. So he sits me down in the parts counter. We chop it up for just a few more minutes talking about my needs for a car. And then I'm going to wait till, we get the payoff on this vehicle before I buy another, blah, 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 blah. But cool guy, really, he was established rapport, found a need, found out what I was trying to do. It was somebody I would definitely call back. So I wait, and he goes around the corner and says, I need about 20 minutes for the other guy to finish up. 20 minutes goes by, right about on the nose. And he said, "Okay, come on back. I'll take you to Kevin." So I go to Kevin's office, and I walk into it's all glass, at a dealership. So the guy's sitting there, and I just kind of approach. He doesn't lift his head or anything. So I hit the door. I'm like, "Hey, are you Kevin?" Yeah, I'm Kevin. Go ahead and sit down. Okay. So I just kind of took my time, and I sat down, and he doesn't look up again from the computer. He really acknowledged me. And he's like, did you bring your payoff paperwork, or I don't remember the documents he needed, the odometer, there was some other kind of paperwork that I needed. I said, no, you didn't tell me you needed any of those. You had all the information I thought from insurance, and I just needed to sign something. So that was really it. He wrote down what I needed in more of a, like I was bothering him, in the situation that I didn't have my documentation. And then wrote down what I needed and said, okay, the door's out that way. And that was it. And then I left. And then as I'm leaving, I'm texting Ben. I'm like, wow, I really feel bad for the sales guy because his finance guy just blew a deal. I said, I'm not a deal today. But man, the guy was establishing rapport. He was doing everything freaking right. He was asking questions. I mean, the sales guy was on point. I'm a sales guy. I really appreciate that. Don't BS me. Get straight to the point. Figure out what I need. Let's go. And I appreciated that, but his finance guy just, put an atom bomb on that thing and just blew it up in my mind. He had no rapport. He blew every bit of rapport that sales guy had taken a few minutes to build, and it was gone. And I walked out of that dealership just never wanting to come back.
Yeah. So in these kind of situations, we've had many. We as salespeople, as entrepreneurs, we especially here in Las Vegas, right? We don't, how do you say, we don't go in with a level of expectation. We don't want to be treated like kings or queens, but
Right.
our time is important, right? Our time is very, very important. And we're not saying that we're perfect, because
No.
I've made a lot of mistakes. Trust me, like I've wasted people's time. And these are the hard things that we are trying to tell you is like, hey, this has happened to me where I've told someone I didn't have the whole information, or maybe I didn't know the information, and I got someone in, and when the time they got to me face to face, it was a complete waste of time, and that's very, very disappointing for the customer, and they're no longer going to be a client, and you're gonna and there's two types of people that try to have. You can try to make a good into a worse, where they're going to be like, so sorry, Maddie, sorry about the situation. Hey, I want to make an appointment. Let me get you whatever you need to do to empathize with the client, to go, yeah, have an emotional, like feel bad for them. Like, let me take care of this personally. And that's why I always say that word. I love saying that word. I'll take care of it personally, because I know what's going on, and I'll call you directly, and let's make a time. And here's my personal number, or here's what's going on. Let's take care of it. I'm so sorry. And follow up with follow up again. You're not apologizing to say, to kiss butt, but you're following up in a way where you're trying to make a bad situation into a good situation, and people feel good about that. Trust me, people like to deal with people that can handle problems and fix them, right? Rather, I love it. It's happened a lot of the best relationships. Here's a good example. Your marriage. Your marriage. I was at how many times we're always learning. We have arguments with our wives, our spouses, our girlfriends, or even friends, right? Our friends. We have problems, and all of a sudden, what do? We can either forget about it and make it worse, and not get better and separate, right? Goodbye.
Side of you.
Exactly. Or try to work it out, and the relationship gets stronger and it gets better, right? That bond gets better. It's the same thing with people. People love someone trying to reach out to them and trying to fix that relationship. Because I want to say a lot of people I'm very stubborn, right? I like to wait till my wife says she's sorry first. It's not it wasn't my fault. It's your fault.
Way more stubborn than me, man.
Yeah, it's right. So we always want to say it's not my fault. It's her fault. It's your fault. You're the one that no. But when someone comes out and just says, hey, you know what? I'm so sorry this happened. I apologize. I'm going to do my best to make it right. Let's fix it. And here's my number. Right. I will call you. Man, that changes the whole. But did anyone call you back, or anyone communicate?
No. Not at all.
Not at all. So,
and then I asked him. Well, I told him. I said, hey, next time I come in, would have been nice if I know the paperwork that I needed. But hey, can I set an appointment? Can I do this online? Can my attorney do it? No, you got to come in. I said, well, can you set an appointment with me when I get this paperwork so I can just come in and do it? Made it very apparent. Hey, you're wasting my time. I came across town to make sure I was there to get this paperwork that I've been waiting for. You know what I mean? And then he couldn't even look up, couldn't even show me where the door is. Hey, it's that way. Just kind of pointed. And if the guy would have just said from the beginning, hey, man, it's a rough day. Man, I may not have told you that yesterday. My apologies. Hey, let's get your lawyer. You'll get all this, blah, blah, blah. Let's get it fixed. And my mindset would have been totally different. He could have shifted right there, just like you're saying.
Yeah. And that's why it's very, very important as a salesperson, entrepreneur. You have to, there's a certain struggle where you have to find yourself, and you have to be vulnerable, but at the same time, you have to have a strong posture. Sure. You have to let people know and say, I'm so sorry. You know what? Okay, here's a good example. I've been studying TikTok a lot.
Uh-oh.
And there was, I've been
what we're calling these days is studying?
Yeah, well, studying. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I put a couple, anyways. There was a video on there of a young kid right? Because of the COVID, he was at a drive-through, and a lady, you know, the whole Karen, it was like a Karen one. They were making fun of this lady because this lady was like 3 or 4, she was behind, and she goes up to the drive-through. She gets out of her car, and she goes, why is it taking so long? And this kid he was very confident, and he was just like a 16-year-old kid. He's like, ma'am, I'm so sorry. There's only 3 of us working in this fast food place, in this whatever, and because we're not very staffed, we just have the drive-through only. And it was like, I wish I should have saved that video, because this kid, he held his posture, his position, and he explained to the lady. And what can the lady say? Like, what's she's gonna say? Like,
you're not working
move faster.
enough.
Yeah, like, why is it go? You know, she's arguing at the drive-through. You know, everyone's waiting patiently. So we do have to be patient, especially in today's times. We're gonna have to be more patient. And especially when you're dealing with those customers or those clients that are coming into the door, you're going to have to be able to handle those people and really hold your posture, but be honest with them and say, hey, remind people, hey, the world's changed. Okay. Some people are in their own world.
They don't take that into account at all.
Yeah.
And Jojo just contributed a little bit. You need to be professional all the time. If not, raise your standards. And that's really what it is. You know, having that professionalism, you know, taking that full accountability and being able to say, hey, you know, like that kid did, hey, we got 3 people here. We're doing the best we can. This is the reason, and we're going to get to you as soon as possible. But at the same time, being empathetic to the lady, hey, I know it's taking a little bit of extra time, but that's for our safety and yours. So,
sure,
you know, those kinds of things, you know, we got to be a little bit empathetic now, especially, but in all times.
Yeah. That's a good story, man. I mean, people need to learn. And what happens is certain when you're in sales, people are, how do you say, they already have a stigma behind you, right? There's already like they already judged you.
Rick said it happened to him too. Rick Cosgrove's on the line. He said the same thing happened to him at a dealership. I don't know if it was a dealership. I'm going to make that assumption, but we got a lot of people that are agreeing, having the same kind of, you know, those kinds of things happening, you know, and this is all about sales and networking. You know, the people that are watching this, you know, you're in some kind of the sales capacity, wanting to be or whatever. So I think it's important to know that the team members that you're surrounding yourself with, that was more the aha thing for me yesterday, was no matter what this guy did right, the whole team as a whole is viewed and judged by me as the consumer. And when one part of that was fractured, the whole thing blew up. And I was frustrated when I walked out of there. And, you know, I want to know, give me a little bit of situation in the comments if you had the situation, what you did and how you felt as well. Because I think we're talking about yesterday. Oh, no, you were talking about it on a live yesterday, Ben. It's people with, I think it was Jessica? Jody yesterday. You had a live, and people remember how you make them feel, right? In all situations, you know, you're going to remember. I know our internet got a little unstable there for a moment. My apologies. But that's the thing you want to remember, is people remember how you made them feel. And as I walked out of there, I just felt like frustrated. So when I interact with somebody, I was trying to bring my energy. I just always naturally have a lot of energy, and I know that puts some people off, but that's okay. I want to deal with people who like big energy. And, you know, I like to bring people up, and that's, you know, and that's a asset that I have when I talk to people. I try to keep that in mind.
No, I get you. It's still frustrating you. I can tell. I can tell you.
It is.
Yeah,
I feel bad for the guy, 'cause
no, that's not. Yeah, it happens. No, I trust me. We've all been there. I mean, it still bothers you. That's the problem with when you have a bad. That's why it's called a bad experience, right?
Yeah.
It still lingers with you, and you're like, I can't believe. You're just kind of, you know. I remember one time we hired someone to fix the sink to come in, and the guy was all crazy. Like, literally, this guy was crazy, and I'm still have like I would never call that company again. I will never. It was very bad. It was a weird situation. This guy had a bad day, and he started yelling at my wife, and my wife's just like, hey, like, and he's like, but I didn't believe it. I was almost in shock, because I couldn't believe some people are coming into people's homes, right, doing these kind of jobs. And I understand, man, life has its problems, life has its challenges and its problems. But when you're dealing with people, you have to, you have to break away from that. Okay. And here's one of my things is that the information that we're absorbing, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, that's a big part of it, your influence. I know this for a fact because I work with salespeople, I work with other salespeople, and let's say you have 5 to 7 salespeople, and you're always going to have 2 or 3 that are going to be like the negative Nancys, right? Negative Nancys complaining. And those people feed into it, the gossiping, the talking, the that person or the judgmental person. And doesn't matter. They're always around. Even if they just go, if they whisper under their lips, right? You can still hear it. And those are the kind of ones it's okay. I always tell people, if you're in commission sales, if you're dependent on your goals or your own, you're dependent on your own paycheck, you're your own man. Okay. You're not on everyone else. Sometimes, you do have to be the good guy, be supportive and encouraging. Yeah. It's okay to do that. But the minute someone starts talking negative or starts being, I just smile and walk away.
Right.
Okay. Great. Right. But the minute you start talking it and you start speaking it, it's going to come out. And I've seen it many, many times where when it's a customer interaction or a client interaction, it comes out. Your tone is very, very important. One of the jokes I always tell people, and I always joke, is that if someone came up to me and I always joke around with the salespeople around me, and I say, and I'll do this, I'll go, I don't appreciate your tonality. And that doesn't make any sense. But you're like, I go, and I just joking around with them, and I go, I don't appreciate, but it's like, you don't appreciate my tonality. What does that mean? And then, what is that? It's a mind. I'm screwing with their mind, right? It's a mind.
The way I
right?
pronounce my words, you got to.
Yeah, the way you said it. But tone is very, very important, right? I don't even think tonality is a word. I'm just messing with. I'm messing with somebody's brain, and I'm having fun with my friends, right? But you're messing with tone is very, very important. So understand your tone. So when you're communicating, when you're talking, learn how to smile. Learn. If your energy is bad, people can really sense that. Especially nowadays, man. People are very, very sensitive now. Everyone's very judgmental. Everyone's very
everybody was hypersensitive before all this went down. Now, geez.
Yeah.
Now, unfold from there.
Yeah. So be careful what you say. I would say keep the conversations very, very minimal, and don't dive into it, but really you want to talk about what the business and what you're doing, and talk about just the general stuff. What's general? We always talk about the general, weather, right? Weather.
Weather. Yes. You can throw sports teams in there because, hey, it doesn't really matter. Hey, your team, my team, it doesn't matter. God. Stay away from politics. Stay away from
politics. Yeah, stay away from politics and religion. That's number. Yeah, those are the things. Those will give you the big. You'll have the biggest what the f weeks if you bring that up, right? Because
I just don't understand. I do see a lot of people that do talk religion, which is phenomenal. I love people passionate about that. The problem is in sales and where I come from, you're going to alienate 15% of the people regardless.
Sure.
Whether you're right or you're wrong, it doesn't matter. That's the thing. So I keep a lot of those things close to my vest. My religion, I'm not a very religious man, but I really believe in spirituality and stuff like that. But I let that come out of who I am. You know what I mean? I don't really speak it, and it's just not the right place for it in that environment. You know what I mean? So you really want something with more broad subjects. You can talk shopping. You can talk about, again, sports. Favorite destinations, whatever. To stay away from the landmine topics. Yeah.
Here's my thing on religion, man, and I'm going to tell you right now, and I'll be straight up with you guys. And a lot of you guys know I am Christian, right? I do, but I don't go out and tell people every single day I'm Christian, right? I'm going to be the example of a Christian, right? I'm going to talk to you. I'm not perfect, man. I tell you this, I screw up every single day. I mean, that's the whole point of being a screw up and trying to make it better. That's Christianity, right? I admit I'm a sinner. I make mistakes. But here's the thing though, you have to go out and be the example, right? That's the kind of idea. I don't care what I think. I'm pretty much going to say that mostly all religions tell you to be good and do good things, right? So go out and be good and do good things. Go do good things.
Hey,
That's it. Plain and simple. That's sales. That's sales right there. Plain and simple. Go out and be good and do good things, and good things will happen. And good things around you. Surround yourself and live a good life. Don't go out there and be crazy. Don't go out there and we already know the examples of people making mistakes when it comes to stealing, robbing, killing, all the bad stuff. We already know what.
I watched that American Greed show. That's one of my favorite shows. I don't have that thief mentality, so I watched the show and I'm like, wow, I can't believe these people are doing this. But yeah, you got to stay away from those folks. And JoJo, hey, we won't have a problem with dealerships anymore. He said he's going to go ahead and get a dealership out here. So I know with his level of service, we'll never have that issue. So thank you, JoJo. You just got another 500 points for that one. Never introduce politics. Oh, you never introduce politics or religion into business. You'll lose 50%. Absolutely. Those are the things that really will polarize your clients, and you don't know who those people are. They may very. My aunt is very much a Democrat. She wears it on her sleeve. She's very much a Democrat, but when she talks, she's very soft-spoken. She's not. When you meet her, you may not know that about her because she's very soft-spoken. And if she was interacting with somebody who said anything about the present president, I know that would offend her, and she would immediately be gone. So you're absolutely right, JoJo. Thank you so much. We have tons of people in here today contributing. Annette, thank you so much. She had a great point. I didn't want to miss that. When these things happen, like Ben pointed out a moment ago, it's still a little bit fresh on my mind because I knew I was going to be talking about it today. But the best advice when that does happen, listen to Annette. Don't let it dictate your day. Take it in, process it, and let it go. It's their loss, and just let it go. Thank you, Annette. That is phenomenal. Lorraine, thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping by every day and all your support. Denise was here. Gustavo was here out in Florida. JoJo, Denise is a friend of mine that's down in Arizona. I hope everybody had some great insight from the conversation today. Ben, was there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at this note, guys. So when we talk about negative experiences, you have to celebrate the positive experiences. Appreciate those that are doing their job correctly. Okay, I've gone on tangents too, also with like the whole review thing. I'm kind of anti-review, like those Yelps and all that, because it's because of all the trolls, right? And there's a lot of people out there that go out, and I think there's a lot of it's great, but there's also people that use it to leverage people or to strong arm people. And I don't like that. And I think people need to go out there and really, when you get those review, when they tell you 5-star or 10, if someone just does their job and it does it correctly, don't be so critical and give it like a 3 or a 4. Don't just go for. I always tell them, go for the 10 or the 1. That's just kind of it, because you don't know what's going on with that person. That person could have been busy, but if they just did their job right and they did it correctly. To me, that's a 10. To me, that's a 10. That's a 10. Now, if they go out of their way to become an ass to me and ruin my day, then fine, they're going to get that 1. I'm not going to be from 1 to 10. I'm going to be like 7 because this person didn't make me feel extra special, right? I'm not that. I don't think. I mean, yeah, I am special. I would assume, but I don't need that. I don't need Susie from the restaurant to make me feel 100% special because she didn't, bless my hamburger. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know. She didn't.
She was down and does all the
yeah. She didn't like the pickle wasn't. I didn't ask for no pickles or something stupid. Does that make sense? I see people. And this is coming from a salesperson who does get reviewed a lot, and I get reviews all the time, and I see and I review people, and I love to do this, but I don't go write a whole story. I just say great service, asset to the company, and keep it very simple, and give them the 5-star, give them the 10-star, give them the highest review if there's someone that's doing their job, because that person. And let me tell you this. Some days, I've had days when I'm on the floor selling and I'm busy. and I don't remember the customer or the client that reviewed me, but she says I did a great job. She gave me a 10. That makes me want to do my job even more, better and better, because I'm getting celebrated, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm getting acknowledged. And the more 10s I get, the more positive reviews I get, the more I want to do my job. Now, when someone, I mean, we've all had bad reviews, and when you get that one bad review, or that bad, it ruins your day, man. It throws you off, and it could have been something stupid as like because the company or somebody else did something, it wasn't your fault.
Right.
We all know that situation. It goes on you because you were the final, you were the closing salesperson, or you were the last person they met. So it goes on to you.
Totally.
You be careful with those reviews. Don't, because let's say, for example, the last cashier that goes through and says, she goes, oh, for 10% off your next, to fill up this review, and someone at the meat department threw you off, that person's going to get the review too. So just be a little bit more, be patient with those reviews.
And that's important. I know I'm going to get fried for this if my wife watches this, but my wife is very quick to criticize fast food or a food place or anything that's service. She's real quick if something's wrong. She'll call up. Not little things. I mean, these are like, our whole meal was cold the other day, so she calls those things up. I don't generally do that, but she's real quick to do those things, and I think that's important. But I think it's equally important, like Ben's saying, if you are getting great service, shout that out too, because we're so
celebrate that.
To point out bad service. We're not as quick to point out the excellent service. So yeah, Ben, thank you so much. And you know what? Yeah. I'm trying to be better on my realtor reviews to other realtors when I'm looking at properties and stuff, giving them feedback. That's something I've stepped up, but I'm going to do that more in the world as well when I get service, because that is important. I'm going to work on that. That's a good challenge.
Yeah. That's maybe take that as an action step. Go out and celebrate someone, right? Go out and celebrate someone. If you noticed, one of the group formulas, guys, I'm going to give you a nugget right now for the groups. We celebrate people. We celebrate those that are engaging. We're out there, and people love it, man. It's awesome to be noticed, right? To have an announcement on your name, especially your name. People love to hear their name. They love to see it on their post. They love to say, hey, you know what? Great job for being an awesome member. And everyone engages, and there's a person, and that group member makes their day. And that's what I'm doing, and that's my goal, is to make their day and to have a good day, to have a good feeling, and that's the whole result, right? The feeling and emotion, how we left them and how you perceive them. That's this.
And we want to leave you guys feeling good. We try and give you guys all the best information that we know, our experiences, things that we're doing. We're here Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Fridays we're open mic on our YouTube channel. So please don't hesitate to go over there right now and subscribe, and hit that little bell so you can be notified Friday morning when we go live there. We're going to expand to that platform as well. Tomorrow is our lead generation Thursday. This is one of my favorite days of the week as well. I think they're all our favorite days of the week, but we talk about generation of leads, follow-ups, online, offline marketing leads and stuff like that. So I look forward for you guys to join us there. Thank you so much for dropping those comments in here. That's what we really appreciate. Gustavo actually is writing, yes, reviews now is sometimes the reason why people call us. So that's
great.
Important. Annette, she hates when her husband complains about meals. So these comments, we really appreciate those. I do try and acknowledge them in the stream here. Sometimes it gets a little difficult, so please bear with me. But I wanted to really appreciate all of you guys for giving us the time, giving us the support and encouragement to do this every day. That's just, I don't have the words to express how much I feel and thankful for you guys, all of you. So thank you. Ben, thank you so much. I appreciate you, buddy. And as always, we're going to remember to what?
Slay the day.
Take care, everybody. Bye.